This is professional wrestler Robert Martyr, the son of a servant. Nationally traveled, wrestled some of the best professional wrestlers in the world, and quite frankly, better than your favorites. And this is Kayfabe Friends.
Kayfabe Friends, the podcast you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh, what a difference a Dave makes. I'm the David Difference. Welcome to Kayfabe Friends, along with my Kayfabe compadre, Mr. Holiday, NJ Holiday in the building. How you feeling, man?
Your favorite holiday? See?
Not mine. Not mine.
Not yours.
Not mine.
Not your favorite holiday?
Nope. I like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of a holiday that I do not like.
Wow. So I'm at the top of the list now. I'm the holiday you don't like.
Well, I don't know. It's been quite a rift.
But now you're about to take an extended holiday. I'm going to make sure of that from Mr. Massar.
Well,
I'm going to make sure of that.
Who? Mr. Massar? Yeah, well, he's on vacation this week.
What
So
the hell are you
I think
talking about?
I think it's free reign. I could do whatever the fuck I want today.
What?
And we're going to do that. But so episode 2, we made it past the first one.
Mr. Massar's on vacation?
Yeah.
I didn't get a memo. What the hell
He
is
went to
going
Bora
on?
Bora. He sent me an email. He said we need to talk when he gets back. So,
The hell?
yeah. A very polite email after last episode. So I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means either, but hey.
could be something good. So we got, like I said, it's episode 2. It's good to have you back. It's good to be here. Thank you for everybody that has subscribed thus far and listened to the show. And we're going to keep this thing moving. A lot of things in development that were here came into play before you came to the set today. And we'll be discussing that. Well, we'll be discussing that a little bit later.
Catch me up, Kayfabe, buddy. What the hell?
But we'll talk about that after the episode.
Okay.
And then we'll get to that. But I know we got a lot going today. We're talking about All Out. We are talking about a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that has happened within the wrestling world.
You see the shirt I'm ripping?
What is it?
That West Coast Pro. West Coast Pro was just in Vegas doing a collaboration show with Grap House.
Okay, yep.
That just happened this past weekend. Very successful event. So, showing some love to West Coast Pro. The Bay invaded Vegas.
What you know about the Bay?
What I know about the Bay. Then Golden State Warriors pissed me off too much about the Bay. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bay, hometown. Let's go.
But y'all did just lose Clay, so I'm a little bit happy now. No more Klay Thompson in Golden State. No more Splash Bros.
What's that dance? What's that dance?
What's that dance?
Okay, good.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? A little bit of Jada Park.
I know that you did your part this week. You're like such a huge contributor to this show.
I aim to please.
Yeah, and
I aim to please.
I know that we have a special guest.
Yes.
Somebody
We
that
do. We have
I'm excited to meet.
Yes, we have a special guest. Our very first guest here in the Kayfabe Friends, here in the Dave Cave, here in live in Las Vegas. This man just had one hell of a weekend going to war with Kevin Blackwood for the West Coast Pro Championship. Went to war with the Mecca Grand Champion FSW, Chris Bay.
Okay.
He is a son of a serpent. This man has gone to war with Suzuki. He's gone head-to-head with Daniel Garcia. He's been in countless battles with Timothy Thatcher. He's handled his business with the likes of Brian Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Robert Martyr.
There he is. Come on, there he is. Welcome to the show. Pleasure to meet you.
Keep it kayfabe. Good to see you.
There it is.
Thank you
Robert,
for
welcome to
making
Las
the
Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
So you had an action-packed weekend.
Yes, I did.
NJ, you were there. Give me a proper introduction, man. What do I need to know?
Busy weekend, my man. Like I said, our roots go all the way back to 2018.
Yeah,
Pro Wrestling 2.0.
just about.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling 2.0.
Okay.
We were trained by Alex the Pug Porto. Yeah, you can elaborate.
I don't know about training, but I don't know about training. He was kind of the overseer
Okay.
of stuff, but
Yeah. He was the money guy.
Yeah.
Where was
If
this?
we can call him that. We can call him the money
He didn't
guy.
have much money, or what?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
Hey, man.
But he
Some things are left untold. I'll tell you that.
All right.
No, but I remember meeting Nick, and then it was kind of like what do you want to be, like a manager?
Yeah.
That was like the start. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then turns
He
out
wanted
he ended
to
up
be a manager.
and then but he ended up being a manager. And I was like, wow, really?
Manifestation.
One thing I didn't even know.
You want to be a podcaster? Look at you.
So you were saying?
Yeah, no, it was like, I probably have been training for like 4 years at that point.
Yeah.
So, because I started at 14 and I'm 23 now. So that's
Nice,
like
young
what?
prodigy over here.
Yeah. And then, shout out to Eli Knight, and then shout out to Malik Bo City. We kind of all started hanging around together, and then he was kind of the mastermind behind this Culture Inc. thing. So, yeah, that's kind of how we all.
So where was it? Where was this at?
This is in Winter Park, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you were out here this weekend, a couple shows. You were FSW.
Yes.
Shout out to FSW. I heard that you and Chris Bay had quite the battle.
Yeah, it was very nice. I met Chris. All right, so I got cooked on Twitter today. All right.
Elaborate.
Most of y'all never been brain busted, and that's how I can tell. Okay, because I had met him at 14. And I put it's been 6 years in the making. It's been 9 years technically.
Okay.
All right, but I didn't do the math right.
Math ain't math.
The math was not math. Bro, Lindsay Dorado commented on my shit. Come on, bro.
Lindsay's one of ours. Lindsay's a good friend of ours because, like I said, Lindsay he lives in Orlando, so he's training with us from time to time, different spots.
Okay.
So he had fun poking at Martin.
But me and Chris, we go way back. I've known Chris for a long time. He's always helped me out with stuff like over the course of my career, and then we just out of the blue this match came up, and we had a really really good match. And it's like he's Bullet Club. He's doing like former X Division champion, former TNA. Tag team champions with ABC.
ABC 2 times.
Two times. So like he's doing big things. So it's good to get in the ring with them and stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Bay, man. Definitely our guy there. I remember the first day Chris Bay came out to FSW. He showed up to train and like just watched his career, man. And amazing talent. Then last night,
amazing rapper, amazing songwriter as well.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Many talents. The ultimate Vanessa, your girl's favorite wrestler. Y'all stay on the lookout for Chris Bay.
yeah, definitely a different kind of cat. And then last night you were at Grap House, right? West Coast Pro versus
Kevin Blackwood.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kevin's probably like top 5 indie wrestlers in the world, I would say.
Okay.
Most likely.
Where would you rank yourself?
I'll put myself in like the top 25.
Say it with your chest. Say it
Put
again.
myself in the top 25.
Top 25, Robert Martyr.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I feel like even if I've wrestled all these great wrestlers, I feel like I haven't hit the points I need to hit yet. So once I hit those points where I can feel like I've been getting these wins, I feel like I can put myself higher. But
okay, is it just when you say hit these points? Is it just based on wins, or is there other stuff that?
I think it's based off wins primarily, but it's also based off of getting like that star-making performance. I've had glimpses of greatness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've wrestled pretty much everybody that you could think of. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, like I said, with the introduction I was giving you, you've been in the ring with AEW's Brian Keith. You've been in the ring with Timothy Thatcher. You've been in the ring with Chris Bay. One of the guys that I wanted to get more of an insight on that you had just wrestled recently, and I know this match meant more to you than a lot of other people know because, like I said, we started in 2018. And in the midst of our wrestling journey, we would always take the time to go all the way to go to pro wrestling seminars. So there are some seminars that are outside of Florida in Carolina, but we'll go ahead and make the trip. He had a seminar that was with Jonathan Gresham. Gresham,
okay.
I remember you went to that.
Yeah, it was all the way in Georgia.
All the way in Georgia. You made the
Nice.
drive from Orlando all the way to Georgia and then come full circle. Earlier this year,
I got to
VIP Wrestling, you got a chance to wrestle TNA's Jonathan Gresham one-on-one.
Yeah, it was cool. Well, here's the thing, right? I wasn't prepared at all.
No.
I wasn't prepared at all. I say this because I didn't have a booking that weekend.
Okay.
And then I get hit by Lou Gotti, who's the promoter of VIP. And he's like, "Hey, man, you want to wrestle Jonathan Gresham this Friday?" And it was a Thursday morning. I was like, "You want to for real?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll get your flight." And I'm like, "For real?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I can't say no.
Right,
I'm just not like. I don't even know what to say. I was just like, I guess I'm wrestling my hero at this point. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And I wrestled him. We had a great match. Man, Jonathan Gresham, everything that I imagined and more. I just hope I get to wrestle him again because I feel like I'm like way more prepared now. Even though it was like a few months, like a month and a half ago, I feel like I'm in better shape. Like now, bro, I was in the midst of like some heartbreak, bro. I was in the midst of going through some, and then I get a phone call like, "You want to wrestle Jonathan Gresham?" I'm like, I guess I have to.
Look at God.
It was
great. Did he, after the match was done, was there any type of words of encouragement, anything that he told you that stuck out? Words of wisdom, anything? That
the biggest thing he told me was like, don't sell out your style. Was a big thing. Was like he feels like there's a lot of people like try to be hybrid wrestlers. Everybody knows everything, and he thinks styles make matches, right? So my style is technical wrestling. Don't abandon that because that's not the cool style to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I always stuck with that because if you really think about it, like, man, dude's been doing it for what, almost 20 years at this point, and he like the past 5 years he's only been recognized out of the 20. Right. He's been doing the same stuff in like since like 2009.
Okay.
The octopus.
Yeah, I think it catches up with you, right? If you stay true to and authentic to
play the long game, play the long game.
The people will come around. Kind of like E40 is like, I ain't rapping too fast, y'all listening too slow, and it just takes time for people to catch up. So tell me, like, you started wrestling at 14 years old.
Yeah.
What number one, at what age sparked your interest in professional wrestling, and then what triggered you to say, you know what, let me give this a shot?
Oh man, I was like 3, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. well, my grandma. She's the one that got me into wrestling.
Nice.
So
shout
I didn't. Shout out to grandma. Shout out to abuela, man. Like, so they didn't call ADHD back then. They just called you couldn't sit down, right? Yeah. So you just right. So like I couldn't sit down, right? And my grandma would take these VHS tapes and put them in, and it was like AAA Lucha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up on Mexican wrestling. Okay, I didn't know what WWE was till I was.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Florida, but like New York and Florida was bouncing back and forth. But she would put like these AAA tapes, and it had Eddie Guerrero when he was really young. Shout out to Los Gringos Locos. He had Rey Mysterio when he was really young. La Parca, all these like great Mexican luchadors, and then she had like SummerSlam 06 on there. She had Vengeance 2003, so I watched
the good stuff.
The match, the good stuff, right? Yeah, I watched Benoit and Eddie for the United States title.
Yeah.
And that was the
finals.
That was the match where I was like, I gotta do this.
Yeah, I often hear a lot of stories from wrestlers like their grandmother watched wrestling. Like she was a huge fan.
Yeah.
It's like, grandmas be on that.
Yeah,
but we were just at the CAC, Casas, Negro Casas. He just got an award there. Great luchador.
Well, I grew up on Negro Casas, man.
Okay.
My boots are based. My boots are based off of Negro Casas. So I actually, at what was it? I think it was like World on Lucha. I got to meet him. So that was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool.
Moment.
Yeah,
nice. Well, that's beautiful. So, there's a million wrestlers. Well, at what point did you say I want to start wrestling? So at 14, like how?
I saw a Homicide. So my uncle had like a bunch of indie wrestling tapes, and he had fell like out of love with wrestling, so he just gave all his indie wrestling tapes to me. So I got Ring of Honor, I got Chikara, I got CZW. I was watching death matches at like 11 years old. Like
that's a hell of an archive.
Not
too many people have access to that.
And I had all access, and I watched Homicide beat Bryan Danielson for the Ring of Honor title.
Oh, nice.
At Final Battle, bro. And then he held, and he got that was
probably
07, I think.
Really?
2007. Okay. 2006 or 2007. And what made me realize was like, so, I didn't know what, like, if they had Puerto Rican wrestlers at all.
Okay.
So I was like, Eddie Guerrero was like, he was Mexican, but he was kind of like the Spanish dude. You know what I mean? So like, he had won the belt, and then everybody came in the ring and then put him on his shoulder, and he had a Puerto Rican flag. I was like, wait, he's Puerto Rican? You can do that? So I was like, oh shit, if he could do that, then I can do that. Mm-hmm. And from then on, I was like hooked. I was hooked on that wrestling stuff, bro.
The power of representation. Bro.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love, like, especially when you're getting young, it's like a passion thing. Like, I've loved wrestling. I never knew how to even get involved in it, but I just loved watching it. So you see a lot of wrestlers out there, and like, there's a lot of competition. Wrestling is ego, even podcasting, everything is like, as you know, like the business dealings we've been doing, it's an ego-based thing. Everybody's trying to get their own shit in. What sets you apart from everybody out there climbing the ladder? And I'll tell you, like, just the little homework I've done, but what is your magic sauce that you say sets you apart?
He put you on the hot seat. That's a promo.
Yeah, that's a promo.
Yeah, you want you to on air promo. Let's go. On there.
I think honestly, man, the biggest thing that sets me apart from everybody else is I actually do this shit for real.
Facts.
Like I actually do this. Like people, they do it, and this is like the thing that they want to do.
It's a hobby.
But I've been doing this since I was 14.
Okay.
Religiously since I was 14 years old. I can tell. He ask him who goes to me for every piece of wrestling knowledge, quivia, like whatever, bro.
Yeah, it's in
Who hits me up? I get messages every day. Can you send me this match from 1984? I got you, bro. You want to watch a Nick Bockwinkel match against fucking Jumbo Saruta in 1977? I got you,
My
bro.
history on wrestling was good. Robert got me times too.
Well, yeah, because he goes deeper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just with the lucha history and everything. So, yeah, I think.
In the midst of this clip, I got to play you one of his promos, bro. This man could put a promo and have you feeling like.
Well, that's what I wanted to touch on real quick before we get into All Out. But I was going through your Instagram and I saw that positive affirmations.
Oh, yeah.
Positive affirmations. I'm hardworking.
Like, tell me, number one, how, like, I loved it and very cinematic, but I love the message behind it. And like, what was that something you wrote or something that came to you? And like, what's the meaning behind that?
Yeah, I made it. It was all me.
Okay.
Shout out to Harry Aaron who helped me film it. But yeah, the script was written by me. The concept was written by me. During high school, I was in film club, so I wanted to be a filmmaker.
Okay.
If this wrestling stuff didn't work out, and then I realized, well, I could just do both. You know, I realized everybody was doing promos in their fucking car,
Right.
so I was like, let me just use what I know and put it to use. And the affirmations short film that I did, really, I just felt like so much of wrestling is, you know, rightfully so superficial,
Yeah.
which is okay. You know, that's great. There's gimmicks and all that stuff. But I felt like the biggest issue I had with wrestling at the time was it felt so inauthentic.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like people weren't showing who they actually were behind the character or behind themselves or what that actually meant. So I felt like I could show that, like, that video is probably the realest thing you'll ever see out of me in the wrestling context. Was you seeing, like, at the start, you see me in a hotel room with my therapist saying, like, hey, you got to work on this positive affirmation. You got to stop thinking you suck. You got to stop. And that's real, like, insecurities that I have, because, like, we're all our own worst critic.
Right.
But the way my mind works is I have such a unrealistic high standard, which is a blessing and a curse, that I compare myself to people like, you know, the Eddie Guerreros and the Jonathan Greshams and the Bryan Danielsons. I put myself on that standard.
Got to, yeah.
And when I don't reach that standard, I shit on myself.
Okay.
So the whole point of that was to show, like, this is a new era for me as a person. This is a new era for who Robert Martyr is.
Evolving.
And you know, sometimes you have to pull back to lock back in. And that's what that whole video was.
No, I loved it. I think that, again, scrolling through, you see the moves, like, it definitely got talent.
Did you leave a comment? Show some support.
I
You double tap.
I got to go back. I got to go back. But I was just doing some research there. But yeah, hats off for that, because that was dope. And it told me about you. And like, my first thought is lean into that more, like, especially if you got a cinematic background. That, like, Karrion Kross, when he was doing his shit on, especially on the independent, he would go make these like cinematic type promos and just build his character. There's a lot of, and talking to Sting 2 weeks ago,
Right.
he said that's one of the things that's missing in today's wrestling is the character development, the promos, like actually building the character. I felt it. I understood you more, and it had me more interested. So lean into that shit, because that's dope.
Absolutely, man.
Hats off to you. Let's talk about All Out. Is that
AEW All Out just happened last night.
it seemed like they just had All In a week before that. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they caught me on guard with that. They did that last year. All In Wembley will be at the beginning of the month. 2 weeks later, they'll go back to Chicago and do All Out to continue the reoccurring theme that they had from their inaugural All Out show that they did with Cody and the Young Bucks, and they just been keep doing that year by year now. So yeah, I was just telling him, like I said, his mentor is Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And he was on there.
And he opened the show with MJF.
Yep.
And I feel like that, like you just said, character development, that is a feud that's gonna help Daniel Garcia develop his character. So it's no more the whole dancing thing.
Yeah, I was.
Now he was teasing the return of his independent character, which was the Red Death.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I like that they was dipping back into his old stomping grounds, his old persona.
So I wasn't familiar with him. I've seen him, obviously, that's all I know him for is the dance. And I was like, and people would pop for him, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, so that's your guy.
Yeah, it's my guy, man.
Okay.
Shout out Daniel Garcia. Yeah, man, for a solid year, he was the independent wrestler.
Yeah, the guy.
The guy. He was like, I see the biggest problem about indie wrestling right now is like, guys are getting signed too quickly, to where, yeah, way too quick, to where like they haven't developed any like equity. I guess that's a good word to use. Any equity in like who they are as their brand and like who they are as a wrestler. So people are starting to warm up to them and start to be like, oh, I started to like this guy, and then bam, he's signed. You know what I mean? So it's like, the thing is, Daniel, I feel like didn't get that. He actually got a full solid year to wrestle absolutely everybody in the most high quality, high class matches. Limitless. He had storylines, Limitless. Man, he wrestled Wheeler Yuta for the IWTV. What was it? The IWTV Independent Wrestling Championship, and they went an hour-long match, man.
I remember that.
Hour-long. And it was like one of the best matches I've ever seen, man.
Wheeler Yuta's a treat.
It was so good. And like, I felt like when he got signed, he was doing his Red Death stuff, and then he got like what was he? Was he part of the Learning Tree? Right? No, it wasn't the Learning Tree. It was the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
He got put in the JAS, man. And honestly, bro, some people don't like the dancing. I think it got him more popular.
Oh, it did. No, without question. His song that he's coming out to now is catered around the dancing.
And I think he kind of needed that because there was a certain level of like the people who knew, but the people who didn't know couldn't connect to him.
Right, puts attention on
that. But that's the part of the pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Like as a pro wrestler, he's a true pro wrestler.
Yeah.
But now you're on a.
I think he's good. I think he's
be a sports entertainer too.
But that was his whole story, right?
No,
that was his whole story. Was like
was.
he was gonna join the Bryan Danielson and
Black
Claudio.
Club.
He was gonna join them, and then the swerve happened where he joined the JAS and became a sports entertainer. So he's ignoring the pro wrestling side. So that's always been part of his story.
Okay.
And then now it seems like he's come like full circle back into like what he's always been, was like an actual pro wrestler. So
Okay, so I have to do a deep dive on that because I've been surface level with it, and all I saw was the dancing, and I'm like, that ain't for I don't like that. I don't like the funny shit unless it appeals to me. But obviously, he's got a background, and I think there's a lot of talents in AEW that popped up that if you didn't watch their independent career or AAA or anything, you have no clue.
Yeah,
and so it's brand new introduction.
I think that is a really valid criticism of AEW is that like they don't do debuts like WWE does. I feel like,
but that's
I feel
something like O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, called Tony Khan out about on Twitter. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I know, I didn't see.
He called him about it. He was like, "Man, I don't need y'all to like come at me, tell me I'm stupid or I'm not, I'm dumb or whatever." AEW, Tony Khan, y'all can do a better job of like putting out like introductions and stories and telling me where these guys are from, how long they've been in the business and stuff like that. He even got on the Chris Van Fleet podcast here in Vegas and elaborated more about it. You know?
Yeah, I think that's the thing because a lot of people pop up. Well, they popped up as a new company, right? There's all these new faces. It's like, okay, then you just have to kind of grow with whatever they put out there. So without knowing their history, and that's. I mean, it takes a while to get acclimated to the product, but let's talk about like. So they're saying last night's pay-per-view was probably one of the bloodiest, most violent, over the top. So just a couple spots, as you know, the Danielson,
Bryan Danielson, Blackpool Combat Club.
So did you catch that one?
No.
Or you missed that one? So. he retains
Okay.
and wins. Obviously,
His
it's
first title defense against Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
right. I didn't think he was
Nobody
going to.
he wasn't losing it.
Did not think he was going to lose.
Yeah.
And then Christian Cage comes to cash in for the title. Here comes his guys.
Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne,
Right.
and somebody else maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, got kind of signed too quickly. It's a lot of the guys that we're sharing locker rooms with a lot of people that's been signed. Nick Wayne, Trisha Dora, Billy Starks, Carmelo Hayes, Daniel Garcia, Brian Keith, Queen Aminata. So, like I said, Nick Wayne, one of those guys.
Yeah.
Came out
He
there
was
with
at FSW, a couple shows. Yeah. So they come down to cash in. Here comes Moxley.
Nice.
The whole crew to defend them and like, we got your back.
Because he's been teasing a new kind of like story
Right.
that I've been seeing. John Moxley's been coming out with Marina Shafir.
Correct. And just doing some, you're not in charge anymore.
Right. He punked out Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. So it's been a little weird, but he comes out and they're like, oh, okay, there's the Blackpool's still together. They got his back and they go to celebrate with him and then they attack him.
Damn.
And not only do they attack him, but
They
the
beat the
controversial
shit
part
out
of
of
him,
him.
which AEW said they're not going to show it on social media because they don't condone it, was Moxley put the plastic bag over his head. And
I didn't see that.
you didn't see that.
I didn't see
Well,
that. I
they
just
blocked
saw
it
I
from
saw
the
a
internet.
screenshot of Brian Daniels' face in shock as
Okay.
they was like about to whoop his ass. I saw that on
Yeah,
Twitter,
okay.
but I didn't see the full clip.
Yeah, so they put the bag to his head.
Okay.
And that
We
was.
can play that on Kayfabe Friends. We can play that back on.
Oh
here.
yeah, we could at least show a clip.
No, I like that. Okay. Let's give the people what they want.
And then
You
the
know?
crowd starts chanting, "This is murder! This is murder!" And obviously Jr. is like, "What the hell
He
is
got
this?"
kids. Like, I hope Bernie didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, Birdie saw it. So thoughts on that? As far as there's controversy with people saying that was too far, went too far. I'd heard that that this spot was pitched by somebody else earlier, and they vetoed it for a different match or at a different time, and they were like, no. And obviously, it went into the media scrum afterwards. Tony Khan was like, he cut it short because he was like, "There's too much happened tonight. I don't want to talk."
And then you remember what happened last time at All Out? We didn't cut the media scrum short. That's when Brawl Out happened with CM Punk.
And there was also there was an altercation backstage too.
Really?
Security rush back there.
God.
They
I
said
think
the
they just
talent-
need to stop this media scrum shit. I think it's just bad news for everybody.
Right.
Somebody they asking questions they don't want to get asked. He's got to.
Yeah, it's just,
I just feel like they just.
It's very interesting. But the question on like a spot like that with
Right.
the plastic bag, too far?
Well, okay, so
That wasn't even the worst spot of the night though.
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't.
So with
That wasn't even the worst one.
So the question that I'm gonna ask: what has been your most like gruesome spot that you have been a part of? Somewhat similar to that. Have you been in anything like graphic? Anything like
I did 3 death matches when I was 18.
Okay.
what they had you do in those matches?
I had shout out Reed Bentley, man. Shout out Reed Bentley. I got hit with a light tube fan in the back.
Okay. With a light tube fan.
So what it is it's a rake,
Yes,
and they will put a duct tape
a whole bunch
light
of
tubes to each strand
You've seen it.
of
Yeah.
the rake, and then they take it and smash it over your back, and my whole entire back was bloody. I had right here there was about an inch deep hole in my forearm. I got a cut right under my eye. That one sucked. I hated that
He
one.
was 18. 18.
Yeah, was this
Just
so?
a boy.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. And obviously, on the commentary, they're like, "There's no tables and chairs training day at the facility.
Yeah.
Like this is just kind of something that you jump into. So when you go into a match like that and you're getting hit with all kinds of shit, like it's not you don't practice this. It's not something like let me see how light tubes fit. Maybe." But not to that extreme. So you just go into it and hope the adrenaline like carries you through.
Bro, I just said fuck it, man. I'll be honest. Straight up. Well, here's the thing. At the time, like IWTV was like very popping. This is independent wrestling TV.
Okay.
It's a streaming service that probably like 95% of the indie promotions stream on.
Correct.
Other than like YouTube and like Triller TV. But at the time, it was a very big deal. Like to get on it. and especially in Florida, there weren't there was no opportunities to get on
Nowhere.
it,
Okay.
except this one show,
The death match.
which was No Peace.
No Peace Underground.
No Peace Underground.
They ran at the Soundbar Club in downtown Orlando. Florida.
Serpentico was on there a few times.
Serpentico, Treehouse Lee.
Yeah. So the first time I got hit with light tubes was the first time. There was no practicing that.
Yeah.
I remember it was a gauntlet match. I had made my entrance. I do my thing and I turn around as the next and this was not planned. I turn around as the next opponent was coming out, and I see a bundled light tube with 8 of them
Oh my god.
taped together, and I'm like, oh god, and he just chucks it at my face, and I just take it straight to the face.
Damn.
Light tube and glass. And those I don't think I ever told you this, but like the next day I was eating like Frosted Flakes,
No.
and then like glass came
out
from
your
the cut under my eye and fell into the fucking Frosted Flakes.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I pick it up, it's glass.
some
I'm like,
fucking
oh, what
glass.
the fuck? That's that
See,
was,
I got a No Peace story too, but I had a light there, dog. So we did it like a tag team.
You had a death match?
We had a tag team anything goes match with MSP.
yes.
And then there was a spot where
Nick always wanted to try to get involved in stupid shit for some reason.
So basically, we was at the same spot he was at the
Okay.
sound bar, and it was a spot where they were sitting each other with chairs, and then what's his name, Danger Kid was like, "Screw this, I need a drink," and then he got a beer tossed out from him, and then they got the chairs, and they sat 2 on this side, Danger Kid and Erico, and then you had Eli Malik, and I said, "Screw all that, let's chug this shit." And I came in with my beer, and I said, 1, 2, 3, chug, and we was chugging it in the middle of the match, and then between it. Eli said, "Oh, freaking baby." He's like, "Wait, I'm only 17. And he can't drink." And then he was like, "Oh, fuck." And they all spit the beer out, and he spit it in my face. I'm like, God damn. And then they took the chairs to the head. And then Eli took a crazy guillotine with the chair, and they pinned us 1, 2, 3. So I just had beer spit in my face. He took a whole light tube.
Yeah, no, I went the way.
That's how I took it like that.
So here's the thing: it's a no ring. So there's no ring.
ring at all, yeah.
It's just
Okay.
it's just floor.
Just out there, bro.
Yeah, it's like a stage and floor.
So I guess that wasn't too far.
Well, here again, I grew up watching CZW. I've seen
Okay,
like that. Okay, so it wasn't the worst spot.
Okay.
Can I say the worst? Like the
What's
worst
the
one of
worst?
the night. With,
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna all right, yeah, we'll get to that.
The main event,
All Out.
unsanctioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just think from a company standpoint, and if you look at like a WWE, they're never gonna pull a spot like that because you got so many kids watching.
They got so many sponsorships.
Well, that's why.
Sponsorships, kids
Well, here's the
watching.
thing. This
Netflix, they probably can, though.
AEW is not trying to be WWE 2.
At
They're
all.
trying to be an alternative.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So
I think
if
last night they definitely.
well, again, so if you here's the thing, right? If you're trying to be an alternative, by definition, you're trying to target a different audience. So even though it's the same genre, that doesn't mean you're targeting the same audience as your competitor, right? So obviously they're going to do out of the box things that the other people won't do. You know what I mean? Like I've seen tweets talking about this is beyond wrestling. This isn't wrestling. It's just like garbage or whatever the hell. And it's like, listen, man, wrestling, as much of a sport it is, it's also an art form.
Yeah.
All right. So subjectively, it could be whatever it wants to be at that
100%.
point. You know what I mean? So
Well, I believe it's cinematic. So to me, it's just like, oh, that's part of it. I get it. I mean, we used to grow up with all kinds of characters. We forget that because a lot of the performers now are just versions of themselves
Man, we
versus
grew
like
up with
characters.
Big Boss Man towing
well-
the Big Show's dad's coffin.
listen, bro.
And then he got hung by the Undertaker.
Yeah. Like,
Boss Man was hung
like,
on live television,
Yes,
but put in a paper bag over somebody's head is
it's
too
a
far.
problem.
What was
Like,
a plastic
Outta here,
bag?
bro.
It was but yeah, no,
Before
yeah.
we get into
That's
that
what I say. Is
spot,
people
I
are
need
too
to-
sensitive.
Before
People
we
are
get
too
into that
sensitive.
spot, I need a drink. We got any drinks?
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it
Where's
poppin'.
Shakur at? Shakur?
We need a drink. If we're talking about this, then all out.
So as he gets his drink prepped, and so we talk
Might
about
get me that
the
one
unsanctioned
right
main event where they said lights out match. I don't know. That was the first time I seen that, but they
Appreciate it. We need drinks all around. I don't want that shit though. I want the other stuff.
This is
I want the other stuff.
a naturally flavored seltzer.
That was it.
sponsored.
Okay. So
That's out your fridge.
is it?
Yeah, that's out your fridge.
All right.
I'm getting something out the cooler. You know what I need, but let's go. We talk about let's hit.
So unsanctioned match, lights out. They said, okay, once we turn the lights out and turn them back on, that signifies that this show is over, and this next match has nothing to do with AEW. It is not sanctioned. Thank you, appreciate that. And then we had our main event. Technically,
let's take a cheers to this. Let's do it.
all right.
Bring it up.
Do you want a drink? Are you good? You don't drink. I like it.
You straight edge.
I don't even.
No drugs. You know what I'm saying? Straight edge. Let's get it.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. I wish this guy didn't drink because every episode he's got to come over and have his drink. This guy's drinking. This guy doesn't drink. That's why I like him.
I need something to deal with your shit.
So the main event was Hangman Page
And Swerve
versus
Strickland.
Swerve Strickland. Obviously, they got a vendetta. He blew up his house last week.
And obviously Swerve invaded his house last year.
Yeah.
Right, with
Hangman's.
in the crib and everything. So, and as you cued on last episode, it's like that was it, and they got unfinished business. So here was this match, and it was interesting because I called you and you were like, "Oh shit, it's on tonight."
Yeah.
And then I called Moon and he was like, "Oh shit, it's on tonight." Like everybody kind of forgot that it was even on. But I watched the match. Brutal. I mean, you expected that. Like expected it to be
This
brutal.
is like their fifth match. So it had to be.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it had to
I
be
mean,
up
you
there.
just blew up a guy's
Is this the end of a
childhood.
rivalry?
I
You
would
think,
feel like
or you
it
think
needs
it's,
to
I don't.
be.
I
I would feel like it needs to be.
or you think there's one more in it?
Because this is the last pay per view of the year. So there has to be.
well,
Well,
I think.
the start up.
Swerve lost, so I
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
Let's Swerve go off into the sunset a little bit.
but I think there's still. I mean, how you follow it up. So here's the spot.
Okay.
A couple spots. They brought out the cinder block. That was pretty wild. They said it was gimmicked, whatever. It still looked rough. It scraped up his back. It was nonstop. Pulled out the steak from the charred piece of wood from the burnt house, which he was about to stab him in the face. Okay, and then was that the worst of it? And then we go to the needle.
Let him say it. Go ahead.
It's the needle spot, man.
Yeah. Then
Did they put it in his mouth?
yeah.
They did that before, though.
Here's
Did they?
They did it before. They put the syringe in his in Swerve's mouth when they had that Texas death match.
Did they?
Did
Yes,
they? I don't believe so
last
because
year.
everything I watched it. It was never referred to as this again.
I'll bring
it
it.
was
I'll
like
show
what
it
the
to
hell? Okay, and then even all the reports were just like,
We've never
Well,
seen
they got
this
more. They got
before.
more people watching their product. They got Okada. They got Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that haven't been following them for a
So
minute.
so what's you saw that? What's your reaction? What do you what do you think?
So
Was
I'm
it
a
too
fan
far?
of that
Was it
shit.
too much?
No. I'm like,
You like
If-
blood and
if-
gore?
yeah. If you're following the story, this guy just blew up your your childhood home. Like that's the thing. Often in wrestling, you'll have these guys that just have this blood feud for some reason, and then it's
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3 pin, feud's over. I'm good. I won. That's not it. Like that was a fight of two guys who hated each other. Don't give a fuck. There's no rules.
Hate each other's guts.
Yeah, let's go. Like I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want. So they said he, shot him up with something to make him
Did
pass
he?
out. Then
There
hit
was
him
something in
with, hit him with. I don't know. They alluded to it. I don't think anybody knew. But then he hit him with the chair shot that looked vicious and
Yeah.
brutal. And he was just out, KO'd.
Swerve just got his new contract. He can take him a nice little.
Well, here's the
vacation.
thing, man. Like
Shout
everybody's like, so how could Swerve do this? It's like you guys don't know your history,
They,
bro.
the hell they don't.
You guys, this dude is like a former Cage of Death winner.
They're so quick
Former
to forget.
he was when he was kill shot on Lucha Underground. Him and AR Fox
Oh,
had
they
the
murdered each other.
craziest death match of all
Of
time.
all time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
And,
people
like-
are so quick to forget, man.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. I just don't think they're exposed to that type of stuff. So
That
like
too.
that is like specifically for shock value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Specifically for shock value. But it's also like it's crazy, right? Like, come on. Like,
But
why
now,
would we hate
but
them?
now
We can't hate
everybody
on
has
them.
a reason to go back to this specific event and watch it. Because
That's
like you
the-
said, the
Everybody's
shock value.
talking about it.
Yeah, the shock value.
I mean, for those two spots, and I think,
Right.
like you said, they have their own niche.
Yes.
What they're doing. I mean, if you look at, sometimes you could say, "Oh, it's overkill. Every match is blood and this and that." But ECW, I mean, made its whole fucking career on that. So, if that's the direction they're going, cool. Embrace it. It's an older demographic, a more violent people that want some of that raw and real shit. So you don't think they went too far on any of it?
No, but I also can see why people would find it disturbing and not want to see that stuff. You know, people are squeamish. You know, some people don't like seeing that. Like I hate needles, but it's also like they're to be honest, like they kind of did that one pretty safe because it didn't go through the other side. I've seen clips where like you could see the needle stick out the cheek. I'm like, nah, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm pretty mixed on it. Even me supporting, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that. That's disgusting. You know what I mean?
Pick a side.
Yeah, there we go.
You're on the hot seat with Holiday. Pick a side.
I'm a centrist, man.
Okay. All right. But for all the people that say they went too far, let's not forget. Okay, WWE had Eddie Guerrero's mom fake a freaking heart attack.
Eddie Guerrero's mother did indeed suffer a mild heart attack, but she is resting comfortably in her home in El Paso.
She had a real heart attack by faking it.
For a start.
Did you not hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear that. She had a heart attack faking it. But like I said, it was on TV, and not only Eddie Guerrero's mom, Tori Wilson's dad, Al Wilson, had he had a heart attack on TV. Like, y'all talk about stuff went too far. WWE's done this already years ago.
Well,
look them up.
Right. I think wrestling fans are very interesting because it's either too far or not far enough.
Right.
Like, they're just never happy.
The storyline with Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie, and then Dawn was sleeping with Tori's dad, and then she gave him a little bit too much coochie, and then he had a heart attack afterwards. He died. Then he's at the funeral. Here comes Tori and trying to see her dad, and Dawn's like, how dare you? You never approved of this relationship. You never loved your father. And then takes a big glass vase and hits it over the back of Tori while she's crying over her dad's coffin. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all need to do your history.
But it's also, we did see, like, Darby Allin fall, like, 16 feet?
Into glass.
Into glass.
Pristine.
You know what I mean?
Where was the crying then?
Yeah,
where was that crap?
I just think that I mean, wrestling fans are vocal, right? So somebody's gonna have somebody's gonna have an issue with something. Like Attitude Era, there was complaints all the time. You couldn't say this, they were doing this.
But yeah, they want to go to school and be quick.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's wrestling. You either sign up for it and enjoy it, or you don't. But one thing that I want to talk to you about, especially being in the business, getting in there young, a lot of those spots, whether it's the cinder block, just a lot of like violent spots, and JR kept referencing, oh, that's going to take some time off your career. Not only your career, but your life. You look at Hulk Hogan, who, like, the biggest spot he did was just the leg drop, and now back surgeries, you know, just constant pain.
You know, he says that, and then like I'm like, you know, it's not the move that fucked you up. You realize that, Hulk?
What do you believe it is?
It's the fucking ring.
Well,
it's the ring.
Okay.
They changed the ring. They changed the ring after. Okay, bro. They changed the ring after 82. If you watch any match from 83 prior, the ring was bouncy. It was a professional wrestling ring. Vince had it changed because it was criticism during the papers because they were trying to come out with pro wrestling expose fucking newspapers saying that the ring was a bounce house. So he changed it to boxing rings and had it configured to be suitable for pro wrestling. So you were bumping on hard wood. You were ass down on hardwood for like 30 years. So you got fucked up.
Whose fault is it because of his back?
It's Vince's.
It's Vince's fault.
Gotta be in the documentary.
Well, the point being though is like a move like that a lot of people's not like, oh, that's a crazy move. It leads to injuries later on in life. Being young in the business and obviously watching the matches last night, it's like, how much do you think of 10, 15 years from now, I might be fucked up because of shit I did, you know, to get a pop?
You know what, ironically, like, I have two answers to that. One, I don't really do anything too fucking crazy, to be honest. Like, I don't take anything too crazy. I've always been, like, very cautious of, like, what positions I get myself into, you know what I mean? Secondly, it's also like I don't really think about it. Like if I'm asked to do something crazy and it's like, how am I feeling that day? Am I willing to get crazy or am I not feeling it? And sometimes sometimes I've been requested, you know, do some crazy shit. Right. And sometimes I'll say yes and sometimes I'll say no.
Nah, man, that ain't it tonight. I'm sorry.
Sometimes But as far as like the long term, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like sometimes I feel great, and then sometimes I feel like I'm 40, and it's like not good.
Like now, any nagging injury?
Bro, what's funny is I wrestled Chris Bay, right, and I woke up and I couldn't move my shoulder. Like I woke up and my shoulder locked.
Well, maybe that was a futon I had.
No, well, yeah, definitely. No. But it wasn't Chris. Probably it wasn't Chris. It was like I woke up right, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. I can't lift my arm over my head. Ooh. So what I did was I took a hot shower, and then I DoorDashed some fucking Tiger Balm. I put Tiger Balm, and then I just did stretches for like the whole time. And I'm like, shit, call time's at what, 3? Shit, I gotta be there. So I'm just like stretching my shoulder out, taking like mad Advil, doing my best. And then like, you know, I felt better, but it's like, I feel like, oh, Chris was telling me even like before our match, he's like, my biggest regret in my career is that I didn't stretch enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. So I gotta start stretching,
guy
bro.
This guy right here's a DoorDash demon.
Yeah, I'm a DoorDash
that
demon.
Boy, love him to do some DoorDash. He'll DoorDash some anything.
Coming all day and night. Yeah,
I swear, boy.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, he's out here on like you're his fucking host, right? So I would imagine you're not too hospitable.
Damn.
So you gotta.
The hell, that's a what are you drinking on now? You're welcome. Say you're sorry.
Yeah, true that.
Okay then. I'm not.
I don't like that though. But yeah, I think that's the thing that a lot of people just don't even think about because we live in this now, you know, society.
But my opinion on that, with like you said, AEW and them doing them crazy spots.
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't take too much off of them. Their schedule is way better and different than what WWE got going on with the house shows.
No,
so let's say they take a big spot.
I'm saying less, but I'm just saying overall because you're still doing it every week. Every week there's this. I mean, wrestling is a very physical spot, and people that don't watch wrestling or they see you guys show up one night, then the next night, and they're like, oh, they're good because it's fake, right?
Whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute.
That's what they'll think is like he could show up. Oh, he wasn't hurt yesterday, but it's a lot of times. Right, exactly. And a lot of times the injuries that they portray that they have aren't like your shoulder's hurting, but maybe it's your leg that you got hurt in the match before. So people are like, oh, his leg's not hurting anymore. But it's like you don't know the other pain that these guys have.
It's also like constant, like the realest thing I've ever heard was like, I don't remember what it's like not to be sore because you're always sore.
Always.
You're like in a constant state of soreness.
You become used to that, right?
Yeah, so it's like I like there's a lot of people that wrestle constantly that's like, yeah, I've never been at 100%, like as far as like physically feeling like 100%,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But I also feel like as far as like the big dangerous spots at WWE, you see that like every once a pay-per-view, maybe.
Yeah.
You don't see that happening on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Or SmackDown.
Well, I don't know about that.
They're a little safer
We just had Bronson Reed freaking splash.
That's a splash. I'm talking about. I'm talking. Okay, I yes, but like, I'm saying like we're really comparing a splash to skewers right now, and like and needles and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
I give you all that.
Number one, you compare getting beer spit in your face to getting hit with light tube.
Let's not do that. You talking about injuries, right? We talking about WWE. Jacob Fatu just did that big old splash. On the Cody at SummerSlam. Hurts his leg, can't get up. Out comes Roman, right?
Yep.
Then it's the whole online. Oh, is he really hurt? Is he not hurt? Then he's coming out with a boot.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Right.
If you like, kudos to Jacob telling the story because now he looks like he's fine. But everybody was like, oh, he's going to be out for multiple weeks. Right. So speaking about Jacob Fatu, another person you've been in the ring with. Any stories about that with you and Jacob? How did that match go and where did y'all fight?
Oh man, yeah, Jacob's the best, man. He's the only match I did a Canadian Destroyer in. Nice. Okay. And he will forever be the only match I've done a Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, that was a crazy night. I was like what, 20? I was probably 20 when I wrestled him. Yeah, he's the man. Like. Y'all see him when they debuted? He like dropped like 20 pounds.
Yo,
when he debuted.
I feel like soon as he got approved for that contract, he went straight to a new diet, a new nutrition.
Oh man,
and hit the gym, and yeah, he looked like he lost like 30 pounds. Legit, he is fit. That man. Kudos to Jacob Fatu. God is good, my boy. He's doing the damn thing. He knew what time it was. He knew the opportunity was at hand. Him going with the bloodline, immediately doing stuff with Roman Reigns, the toppest guy in the company, the man of the whole industry. So. He didn't take it for granted, so I'm proud of him. And now you see Zella over here doing his thing. House of Glory champion, reality wrestling champion.
Yeah.
You know, how many more kids like, and then Rikishi got some more
I mean,
kids.
yeah. Nah, I think they're turning it up. Yeah, they're turning it up. The whole bloodline thing is like killing the game. I'm interested in how WrestleMania turns. Well, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
Well, they need to go back to. So that's what I want to ask y'all. Do y'all feel like Survivor Series needs to go back to the Survivor Series Raw and SmackDown concept, but do y'all like this whole War Games thing? I wish they would have just kept with NXT.
I didn't like.
I like the 5
I didn't like that.
elimination
The brand
matches.
supremacy.
You didn't like that?
Nah, not at all. I wasn't. Never been a huge fan of the brand split.
Okay.
But then Survivor Series, no. Now like for bragging rights. Who gives a fuck?
Well, not even for bragging rights. Like you just said, it's for brand supremacy.
Yeah, no.
So it's like it's a lot of matches that could happen in there that you would have never seen.
But
before.
I still look at it. I always look at WWE as one company. Raw, SmackDown, like they could interchange them. I never see it as Raw's the better show. Like it's just like
the thing is because the reason it doesn't hit the same because it just feels like it's the same. Like you said, it's the same show.
Yeah.
No, the brand split. Yeah. That's why it doesn't work. Because in the early 2000s when they first did the brand split, it felt like you watched Raw. You watched Raw.
Right.
If you watched SmackDown, you were a SmackDown guy.
Yeah.
Paul
you know what
Heyman
I mean?
did his thing as a writer for SmackDown those years.
Yeah.
And then the writer for Raw, whoever it was, they did their thing as well. 2 different shows, 2 different rivalries, 2 different like pushes of separate talent. Big, small, little, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, and then on the other show, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, RVD. You know, you're right. Ruthless Aggression era was where it was at.
Yeah, I feel like War Games was kind of like it made NXT a novelty.
Yes.
And then now that the main roster is kind of doing it, it's like
Triple H
well,
NXT,
you go back to the original War Games. That shit was a beast.
with Dusty Rhodes
Yeah. I
and
loved
Flair
that. Like
and
as a
the
kid,
Horsemen.
I was always looking forward to War Games.
But now, as an adult,
'cause
are you looking forward to War Games?
The thought of it, just like when they have a cage match and they don't really do anything brutal.
Right.
It's like why you got the cage? Oh, to keep other people from getting in. Like a
Well,
cage
they finna
match
have
used
one-
to be like everybody gonna be bloody by the time this thing over. Now it's like just put a cage up.
They finna have
different.
one on SmackDown for the season premiere.
Yeah.
Cody
But-
and Solo. Keep
Solo.
the bloodline out.
Yeah. Right. So I'm saying like to me the cage was a place of violence, right?
Now it's just a prop to get more views.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, you used
They'll
to look
announce
forward
it for a
to.
full week. We got a steel cage match. Tune in, don't miss it, and then they don't do nothing with the cage. Just a regular match.
Yeah, you want to see somebody do something wild and rake their face on there.
I don't know, man. I miss the traditional
The blue?
Survivor Series like setup.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I miss
Team versus team.
the team versus team
My man.
aspect.
See?
You know what I mean?
What's
Let
wrong?
me see.
You couldn't handle the traditional Survivor Series match? You don't like... You remember Team Hogan?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you were saying that Raw versus SmackDown.
It's still a traditional Survivor Series format, though, because you got to do an elimination team versus team.
No, that format
Compared to a
right.
War Game.
The team versus team.
I
It used to be
personally like-
the
I
$1 million
personally like
team
this-
versus Hogan's.
I
Yeah.
personally like the story aspect of the Survivor Series where they had like what was it, the Authority versus like Team WWE or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they
Sting
had
made the debut.
and Sting made his debut. I thought that was like one of the best Survivor Series endings ever.
Dolph Ziggler
Because
pulled
Dolph
his
Ziggler,
HBK.
yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
Big Show pulled his freaking millionth heel turn.
Which one?
God.
Which one was it?
Survivor Series 2014.
How do you say that?
Bro, he's had like 100 different heel turns.
Yeah. Well,
And he did another one that night during that match.
so let's talk about this real quick. I mean, we've been getting deep. Well, I guess off the rest, but we're just talking about.
Pause. What did you just say? Yeah, think about it and re-deliver that statement. Who's been going deep?
We've been going deep as a team, as a collective unit. We've been going deep. Everybody's going deep in here. So we talked about Survivor Series. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, I enjoy Survivor Series, but the whole point was where is the bloodline going to end up? I think we're excited to see that as we talk about our road to WrestleMania and we go there. Let's talk about something. You had brought up Paul Heyman. We had an interesting interview with Cold Scorpio.
Wrestlecon, WrestleMania 40. We had the squad together. Made a flight out to Philly. As we're going through WrestleCon at the convention center, we see an old friend of ours, Cold Scorpio. And then this was off the heels of Paul Heyman being elected in the Hall of Fame. We just had some simple question. Cold, ECW alum. How do you feel about yours truly, Paul Heyman, be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And what did he say?
Let's watch the clip.
Paul Heyman was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, you're an ECW legend. You worked with Paul Heyman from the beginning. What did seeing him be inducted into the Hall of Fame mean to you, and what kind of impact did he have on the start of your career?
Him getting inducted to the Hall of Fame don't mean shit to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got inducted don't mean shit. Now, did I get inducted in the motherfucker? No, I didn't get inducted, but everybody named Mama did. So, you know, why am I going to worry about it? Then again, you know, everybody's talking about it's nice to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's something that Vince can say, hey, look, I got a plaque on my wall. This person was inducted to the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? But really, what does that really mean, being inducted to the Hall of Fame? You know, I done kicked ass and done took names and never got none of the credit and still ain't in the Hall of Fame. But then ask me if I give a damn. No. It is what it is. Keeping it real.
Yeah, already.
Keeping it 100.
1,000.
Yes, we're gonna put. Yeah. Obviously, now first off,
That's some real shit, though.
Yeah.
well, first off, let me just say this: here at Kayfabe Friends, we are Paul Heyman guys. His views do not reflect us. Hats off.
Well,
Heyman getting in there.
I'm a Slick guy.
Well
Slick
deserved.
was my guy. The manager Slick. I like Slick.
Okay, so you agree with Too Cold on that?
Jive
Is that what you're
turkey.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Slick was my guy.
So yeah, I found that interesting. You know that.
Me too.
But I also understand that, like I said, it's an ego-based sport. Like, what about me? It's my thing. But let's transition real quick and talk about this Too Cold Scorpio case, which I'm interested in. As
Free Too Cold.
Yeah.
Free Too Cold.
I think he's free.
Free Too Cold.
I think he's free, but I mean, the case that came out, obviously, we saw the social media post for a GoFundMe to help him because he can't get a security job. He attacked somebody, or
He attacked somebody. No, it was somebody attacked him.
Okay, we'll break it down.
Somebody loves gas station, from what I saw. Self-defense. This guy was up in the man's face, probably drunk. Who knows? Too Cold ain't the one to come around with some BS. Too Cold was ready.
Too Cold was the security guard.
Yeah.
At the spot, the guy lit a cigarette and allegedly lit a cigarette in the spot. He said, "Put it out." Dude was like, "Go fuck yourself, and let's go outside and handle this."
Right. And
Too Cold goes
handled
out.
it.
Did you see the wounds that this guy? Did you see the fucking wounds?
Like, yeah, because I mean, what did I do? Yeah, like I stabbed the guy.
Did you see the wounds?
I haven't seen the picture.
I haven't
Okay.
seen the wounds with what happened.
Well, they're playing now. They're
It's gonna be
playing now.
blurred, bro. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
we can't show
Yeah, we can't
stab
show that.
wounds on this podcast.
No,
right?
we can show.
We can show?
We can show. Like I'm talking his head, his chest, his it was vicious stabs. So.
The boy
And again, we weren't there. We don't know. We just got two sides of the story. But they put out a GoFundMe, help raise some money. Which, when I recently went and checked, the GoFundMe was down.
Oh.
So I just don't know. I don't know where that case is headed. But I just saw the wound pictures today and was like, damn.
So now we know where he stands. But what do you think about all this?
Well, you had an interaction with after this, correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
did
did.
you?
And now, a Kayfabe Friends exclusive breaking news you will not hear anywhere else.
Yeah, okay. He didn't tell me everything. All right, I don't have any major scoops for you. All right,
Okay.
but I'm just saying he mentioned it. You know, he said like, that this dude he asked him like 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Hey man, just put it out for me, and the guy was clearly. He said he wasn't just intoxicated, so alluding to like he was probably on drugs,
Right.
or something. And
What was wired?
yeah, and what he had said was like it wasn't like a come outside type of thing. It was like he got lunged at and attacked.
I believe that.
So Too Cold, self defense ready.
Right.
You know,
Self-defense.
Cold blooded.
It-
Don't play that game.
it's not cold, bro. If you have a tweaker,
Yeah.
attacking you,
Yeah.
and you have a weapon,
What would you do? Oh, finish the job. Go ahead. No. You gonna whoop that boy's ass, make sure you don't do that to nobody else.
isn't this the same guy that slapped was it Hawk on the bus?
Oh, yeah.
in North Korea.
Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
Like, come
Right.
on, brother.
Yeah. You don't
Too
play
Cold
with
ain't the one to-
you don't play
to mess with.
Do you think that this crackhead knew that was Too Cold? He
No,
was
he
fucking
didn't.
with.
No, he didn't. He didn't know. He just thought it was a regular
So he
street
was
guy.
out, and that's what I was wondering. Like, is he in jail? And, like,
No,
there's
he's not.
other for him to
He's
know.
fine.
He got out, yeah, and who knows where that case goes?
Oh, it's just probably gonna be like they're gonna circle back to it sooner or later and give out some sentencing, but You know what I'm saying? As they always do.
Those wolves look brutal. But shout out to Cold Scorpio. I mean, that's my guy. But it's just a wild story. But also as a pro wrestler, like
shout out Flash Funk.
It seems like a blast to the past type of wrestling story. You know what I mean? Like
some old school.
Hey man, we're losing recipes. We're not gonna have these crazy I don't even know, like what's his name? Haku bit somebody's nose off. We're not gonna get that anymore.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think for society, I think this is a good thing. I think for the wrestling lore, it sucks. Yeah. But you know, like
we need some of them stories, you know, like to keep everybody.
Well, thank you to Cold Scorpio for those stories, man.
Thank
Keeping
you,
it alive. What the fuck?
Thank you, Haku.
Yeah, I guess you can look at it either way, but I'm just saying that like number one, and shout out like for somebody who's done so much for the industry, been a part of so many magic big moments. I think again there needs to be something done. Like you just can't end your career and go work security at a fucking gas station. It's not like you can't sell out arenas and do all these amazing things. That's the thing is like, and part of my love comes from the business is like, I understand the sacrifices. One of my loves for the CAC is like all these guys that put in so much and like we forget about them to a degree. There's got to be something in place. I don't know what that is, but you know, that's the disheartening part about it for me. You know, when we look at it, it's like you've done a lot. Like we have so many memories of you, and then
it's unfortunate that you have to be 100% loyal to a company to get like a Legends contract. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that there's a lot of people that you know are departed from said company that don't have the opportunity to be like secure like that. You know what I mean? Like, man, there's so many legends that are like you know constantly doing signings and tapings and you know seminars and because they not because they want to, but because they have to make these appearances to like. It's not even a relevance thing. It's just to keep the lights on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you saw what happened with Virgil, like that infamous Virgil picture of just him sitting down. Have you seen that photo of him?
Oh no!
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about it, but damn,
yeah, lonely Virgil. Yeah, no. So I'm just saying, yeah, like to all the legends that have sacrificed and put you know their body on the line to entertain. Just, I mean, I love them because they had a passion for this business. And there's no, you know, you're not, when you're focused on wrestling and you want to be the best and you want to be at the top, you got to focus on wrestling. It's not like, oh, that's my side thing. That's this and that. So I got this license and that, you know, but, and I think a message to the younger generation is you do got to have something lined up. Like Sting, you know, talking to him. He's real estate now. He's like, oh, I've been doing real estate for years, and you know, now he's just going to really focus
Steve
on
Borden.
it. Yeah,
check him out.
So it's like there's
a California real estate agent.
They say don't have a plan B, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger is like no plan B. Just
Mark
go.
Henry's now a car. He owns a car dealership.
Yeah, invest. I think just always think, but there's also different areas of the business that you could work your way into. You know. So it's always like forward thinking. As much as we're in the now, it's like always think of like where could this go, you know, and how can I transition into something,
right?
You know. And real quick, I want to talk about.
Here you go.
Nah,
go ahead.
Nah, I want to introduce. I want to introduce a new segment before we go out, and we should have hit this earlier, but I got a lot of friends that have no clue what the fuck we're talking about half the time because they don't watch wrestling. I used to date a lot of women.
You did a lot of women.
Yeah.
Just get around.
Yeah.
Little Will Chamberlain over here.
They did not enjoy pro wrestling. I would put it on. They wouldn't know what was going on. I used to date this girl. Hated wrestling.
What's her name? Talk to her.
Nah, we're not gonna put any names out there, but she knows who she is.
Cheryl.
And we would be hanging out. Cheryl. We'd be hanging out. I'd put the good on her.
You put the what?
The good on her.
The good on.
Who got that good D? I got that good D.
So that stroke game. Make her miss it. Make her want to call you.
She'd fall asleep, and then I'd put on wrestling.
Oh, you wait till she go to sleep to put it on. See, that's the problem right there. Why you ain't putting no wrestling moves on her? You know what I'm saying? You talking about that good D.
I did the rear naked choke one time. Like her face, like got all, yeah. All right. Anyway,
we're a family show.
So the point being is, she went to sleep. I turned on wrestling. She immediately woke up. We're not watching this. I was like, "What the fuck? You were sleeping." So
Bitch, you
if
get the hell out
if
my
she had a
house.
better understanding of the wrestling business, I think that she may have liked it, and my friends may like it and understand what the fuck we're talking about. So we got a new segment with NJ Holiday, and it is Wrestling for Dummies. Let's roll that real quick.
Wrestling for Dummies. Wrestling's not so crummy. From the ring to the mat, we'll explain all of that.
Wrestling for Dummies. Keyword, dummies. First word we'll teach you guys about today. Kayfabe, hence Kayfabe friends. Dummies. Definition of kayfabe is the portrayal of staged events within the industry as real or true. Example, Kayfabe friends. Me and Dave, best buds. He thinks I'm a really good friend of his, but the truth is, I hate this motherfucker guts.
Wrestling for Dummies. Wrestling's not so crummy. From the ring to the mat, we'll explain all of that.
There you have it. Kayfabe.
Keep it kayfabe.
You're teaching
Wrestling.
bringing a lot of people. You say you have a lot of friends that don't, and that you brought into wrestling, right?
Yeah.
No, you got a lot of broads you smashed that didn't want to.
Okay,
like
listen,
this guy.
relax.
Like this guy.
Relax, man.
Playboy Dave over here, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of friends that like they just did. They thought they just were like, oh yeah, sweaty men in underwear. You know what I mean? Like
right. They don't get it.
that type of stuff, and it was always like, all right. I would show them a match that would like encompass everything I like people should like about wrestling. Not what I thought was the best match, because they don't give a shit about that.
What's the match that you show them?
Bro, you're not gonna believe this shit.
I might.
Uh-oh.
I show them Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania.
You show them Vince's
No,
match?
no.
Where Roddy Piper comes out there with a pipe.
Yeah.
It is so.
And then
Listen
Vince
to
comes
me.
up from the mat.
Listen to me. It is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So over the top.
Yeah.
Sean O'Hare was in there.
So completely out of whack and just incomprehensible.
Yeah.
That you have to find something that's so like it just draws you to the match.
But
you know
that's
what I mean?
the one that you show that people that say, "Oh, this is a bunch of naked guys running around." What would you show?
I was going to ask you, do you think that match is better than the one he had with Shawn Michaels 2 years later? Well, 3 years later?
Which one?
It was Vince McMahon versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 22, no holds barred. And then Shawn Michaels on that ladder.
So I show him two. I show him two
Okay.
matches. I show him that one, and then I show him which one was it? It was I'll show him Kenny Omega versus Okada at Dominion.
I like that.
And it's like 40 minutes.
I like that.
But I just show them the first 10.
2017.
Okay.
And if they stay with me, I got them.
You got 'em.
Right.
I'm like, bro, just watch these first 10 minutes. Because they've never seen anything like it. And a lot of them like anime and shit like that. And he has like an anime entrance. So like, oh, I kind of like that. You know what I mean? And then he comes out and it's like, they're like, oh, so this is like a live action anime. And I fuck with that. And then they'll watch it and then they'll be like,
They'll get immersed.
they'll start getting more immersed, especially because of like the camera shots, like the zoom ins that New Japan has specifically on like it's more cinematic the way they shoot the matches rather than like sports.
He's right. New Japan's
like-
presentation was
Tell me
it's
this.
very different.
I showed them.
Yeah.
I show people
What match do you show
Hornswoggle
them?
versus El Luchador.
Are you talking about?
Are you fucking with me? Yeah, you fucking.
Are you
with me.
You're talking about
You know what
El
I'm talking
Torito?
about. Yes.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
that match is freaking hilarious. And like I said, like
Is that what you show 'em?
it's midget wrestling. What's
Is
wrong
that
with
what you show 'em?
You don't like midget wrestling?
You know
Are you
what's
being
crazy, bro?
serious?
Little
You like
midget
this-
wrestling sells out, bro. You don't
Thank
know about
you.
it.
Like
Don't get me started
Like-
on midget wrestling.
the correct term is
For reasons
the
he's not even privy to.
The correct term is micro wrestling.
You were just last week. You had a different opinion, asshole.
What the hell? You
What
are
the hell?
a grade A
all right, keep it
snitch.
up.
Jesus
So
Christ.
my question
Keep
being,
it kayfabe.
my question being,
Keep it kayfabe. Now, go to your question.
my
now
question,
you ask.
my question being, you got somebody that does not like pro wrestling, so on the fence
Fine.
about that's the fucking match
No,
you show.
okay, calm the fuck
All
down.
right,
Don't
let's
get your
get
panties in a
serious.
fucking
Let's
twist.
get goddamn serious.
The Rock and Hogan WrestleMania 18.
There we
Does that
go.
make you happy?
It does.
Does that make your
It
nipples
does.
hard?
'Cause
okay, that's what I show people. All right.
You were being funny, asshole. Moon, what's the match you show people?
He's gonna put me on the spot like
Yeah,
that guy.
he knows.
Damn.
He's been thinking about it.
I don't.
Right.
Damn.
Boom. Simple and sweet. Don't be putting my man on the spot like that. He wasn't ready for all that. He's in his own zone, producing the show. Mind your business, stay in your lane. But no, I also show people like the Bad Bunny match.
That's actually that's a pretty decent match to
The
show
chicks
somebody.
like it. They Bad Bunny's wrestling. Oh my god! You know what I'm saying? We got a flying bunny, and like I said, they're engaged from start to finish. Look, that inches that he had, Backlash Puerto Rico. Holy shit! Everybody.
I was about to ask which one.
Yeah, that one, the one in Backlash Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
And he comes out with the
Yes, with the freaking trash can full of
Champea.
weapons and the Kenzo stick, and then he's doing the whole, everybody's losing their freaking shit. So
All right,
Bad Bunny,
we got-
Damian Priest, Savio Vega, and Carlito coming back.
That's the match.
Do I need to say it again?
All right,
you
that's the
getting
match.
old?
Yeah,
What's
no.
going on
I
with
would
your
go with
ears
the, I
over
would
there?
go with the Hogan Rock WrestleMania
Okay.
just
See,
to
that's
see the
older
whole
demographic. I got both. I got
the whole
two.
story, and then Foley and Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Like
Foley and Undertaker.
Well, most of that was like on accident. And now you got everybody thinking.
no. But I'm just saying, just as far as what they put on the line. But I would take them back, and we would watch Beyond the Mat.
You know what? Actually,
ask him that right there. Have you seen Beyond the Mat?
Yeah, I've watched it.
These two scrubs behind you, they don't even know what the hell that is.
It's a good movie.
It's a beautiful wrestling documentary. Did you get it, Shakur?
There's a lot of funny moments.
Did
in
you
it.
get
watch it?
He's
You watched
lying.
it? Huh?
What? Oh,
Where'd you
Yeah,
get it?
there's
Don't say Blockbuster, because Blockbuster's closed. Where'd you get it?
That's where I got it.
Downloaded it? Oh, you haven't got it yet.
Hollywood Video, that's right.
My guy.
Hollywood Video.
There we go.
So
No, recently.
there's a which one that's Beyond the Mat? Is that the one with like Mick Foley?
Mick Foley. The
Okay,
Rock.
okay, Terry Funk.
Mhm.
All right, my whole. Just watch the movie for Terry Funk. I don't give a shit about anything else that happens in the
Talk
movie.
good shit, yeah.
Just watch the movie for Terry Funk's segment. Him, like that whole segment, like the Mick Foley stuff is cool.
Awesome.
The Bret Hart stuff is cool. But the Mick Foley, the Terry Funk specifically is like the funniest and best part because he has this referee friend. I don't want to spoil it, but he has this referee friend that he's known for like 20, 30 years, right? And it's like Terry Funk's last match, but it wasn't his last match. He wrestled a week.
Just like Ric Flair.
He wrestled a week later.
Yeah.
But it was like Terry Funk's last match, and it's like this referee friend, right? And Terry Funk's like, I just want you to show up, please. Please. Can you come ref for me? Come ref for me. And he's like, I'm not booked, Terry. I can't come. I can't come. I'm not booked, Terry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I can't come. And Terry Funk's like, just do it for me. Just do it for me. Come on. I just want you to come ref. You could be the ref. Come on. He's like, you sure, Terry? You sure? I'll do it if you want me to. And it's like, it's just the dumbest shit. And it's and the best part is the way he stays in shape. He says he stays in shape because he never know when the next booking comes. He goes on a trampoline. He's got underwear on and he has like 5-pound weights.
Oh,
and he's jumping up and down like this. And he's like 55. It's the best.
You never know.
You never know when the next booking.
So
that scene
go
right
see
there
it.
is like, man,
Download it.
and it's funny because I just talked to somebody like 2 weeks ago that had that same attitude. It's like, I'm not booked. I'm not going to show up.
I'm not going to show up. I'm not booked.
Yeah, like you're not going to show up to your guy's last match because you're not booked. It was funny, but you could tell that guy like had some unfinished business in the business. But
yeah,
all right. Well, look, I'm gonna say this once.
Don't piss off Mr. Massa. Don't do it. You're already on 10 freaking
Massa's
nights.
on vacation. I
That
can say
doesn't mean
whatever
he's
the
not
fuck I
watching.
want.
Don't do it.
He got other things. Oh, I heard he got a new girlfriend. I don't know. He told me something about it. So he's with her. He's distracted.
He wishes he was in the clip. He wishes he was close with Mr. Massa, but he's not.
There was so much we wanted to get to, but I guess it's just time-wise because people got short attention spans. We're going to... And how fucking long... Like, here's the thing with these assholes here. It's like...
Shoot.
A
Shoot it. Shoot.
A 1 hour episode will take about 8 hours to film. This guy shows up 5 hours into the fucking day.
When did you start? A whole 2 hours later. So shut the
What
hell
time
up.
is it now?
Keep talking your stuff. Keep talking. Stay on track.
So
don't lose it.
We're gonna try to keep it to an hour, which we've done. I think we hit some
we
some good
definitely got
stuff.
past an hour.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there? Tell everybody out there how they can follow you, how they can check you out,
You can
man.
follow me on Instagram at Death2Martyr, Death T-O Martyr, and then on Twitter, the Apex RM on Twitter. So yeah, that's the best way you can keep up with my career. And yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. A new friend of ours,
Yeah.
Come on, give it up. Let's go. Kayfabe friends, NJ Holiday, it's a pleasure, man. Hopefully,
Don't piss me off.
Don't piss you off. Don't piss me off.
Don't piss me off. Cause how the hell you know about Mr. Masad going on vacation? I don't know nothing about that.
He sent me an email.
He sent you an email. What the hell?
Well, you know,
he says he doesn't. You know what? Okay, because I'm not gonna do this in front of our guests. But we're gonna end on the hot
he
note.
didn't send you an email? Huh. Interesting. Look, if you like what we're doing, even if you don't like what the fuck we're doing, hit subscribe and like, and you'll start to like it because you're gonna understand we're making some magic here. NJ Holiday, any last words? Now, actually, cut his fucking mic. Cut his mic, please.
Moon, if you cut that damn mic, we finna fight. We finna fight. Moon, did you just cut my mic? Moon.
And we'll go over here. I want to thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been the Kayfabe Friends. And that's the difference. Thanks again, man. Appreciate you.